Beautiful friends. Today is January 9th, 2024. And already, 2024 has not been shy at all in presenting to us many world global events and more predictions, of course, coming into fruition. We are still riding that energy wave of the energy shift, which is going to bring us to the shore on the January 11th new moon. When that all rings in, that's going to present to us a very powerful alignment that I'm going to explain to you all about today and how you can take advantage of this very, very powerful and the first new moon cycle of 2024 and how you can manifest all your dreams and goals for 2024 on January 11th. So stick with me and I'm going to tell you all about that. So, did aliens once again land? This time, landing in the United States at a shopping mall in Miami, Florida. Perhaps, maybe the aliens needed new clothes for their trip back to Las Vegas, because we know they love to gamble in Las Vegas. So really, seriously, why were there at least 50, maybe 100 cop cars surrounding this mall in Miami, Florida? What exactly was going on? I told you all that they would continue to push the agenda of UFOs and aliens in our face in 2024. So we're going to take a very close look at this story, at what actually happened at this Miami mall over the weekend, and whether aliens really did land, or if it's just fake news. Hang out with me. We're going to talk about that, along with Spirit told us that things were going to get crazy globally. With all kinds of things, of course, but especially when it comes to countries like Iran. Iran was one of the places that Spirit warned. I saw visions of explosions and attacks and eventually chaos on the streets of Iran. Last week, Iran, as you know, was hit by multiple times by attacks, booms, big booms. And now they're blaming the United States and Israel, of course, even after a radical group allegedly made claims to that attack. So what really did happen? What really happened and who was really responsible? And you might be a little bit shocked, perhaps maybe a little confused about what this is all about and who's truly responsible. And I'm going to, of course, fill you in on all those details today. It seems like as if every week, since Spirit warned us back in early 2023, that we were discussing some issues revolved around the airlines and airline mishaps. I even told you about future buyouts or bailouts of airlines and the merging together of airlines. And again, a lot of mishaps happening around airplanes. I did not specifically see the vision or prediction of what just happened over the weekend, even though Spirit did warn and we would continue to see airlines having incidents continuing in 2024, including the collision of the two planes in which I had visions of that sadly happened in Japan last week. So this year kicked off with that, and now this very scary incident to just happen with a Alaskan Airlines flight that now has a series of airplanes grounded in some type of whatever to inspect them all. So is there some type of warning from Spirit weaved into this mishap? Should we be concerned to fly? I'm going to let you know today, of course. Still lingering in that accident-prone energy, unfortunately. Along with, the post-shadow of the Mercury retrograde. It's only the post-shadow, so we're coming out of it soon, I think within the next week, actually. Spirit warned of accidents both in the skies and on the roads. And it was a while back that you may have remembered me seeing a serious accident of a tour bus in my visions. Sadly, a tour bus accident did occur in New York, claiming several lives. Prayers to them and their families, of course. But also, if you recall, I saw a tour bus accident occurring involving someone well-known, maybe a musician or a well-known sports team or sport person. So is that something that we could still see lingering in the near future? Is that something that's still going to occur? You may recall my predictions and even my visions of subway incidents as well. And one of those was pulled, of course, directly to New York City. Well, New Yorkers did witness a very uncomfortable accident event when two subway cars came too close for comfort, knocking one of them off the tracks completely. This was not the full extent of my subway warnings either, if you recall, so I'm going to go touch base on those subway warnings once again today. We're going to look closer at potential future events, and when we are out, finally, of this dreadful accident-prone energy. Yes, moving right along. We were told by Spirit that our immune systems need to be up to par. Remember that? I remember saying that in the late summertime, probably around August, July, August. Yeah, I think that's about right. Remember Spirit warning us that we were going to endure a severe cold and flu season this year. And I even told y'all that they were going to bring back mask mandates in some places, such as hospitals, which now, again, is becoming a reality. And more people are catching these bugs that are going around, especially respiratory bugs. I find that to be very interesting. And now hospitals in at least 8 states across the United States of America are now implementing the 2020 mandate, bringing it back. So, will this get worse? Will people submit to wearing masks again? What if there were another outbreak, perhaps? What would that look like in this day and age after everything we went through in 2020? We're going to take a peek at that today. And we're going to take a peek at future outbreaks as well. If you were the devil, I know one lives right down the road from me. If you were across the street from me too, what am I saying? I got 2 devils. But if you were the devil, what would you do to create hell on earth? Well, back in 1965, during a live radio broadcast, Paul Harvey read something quite shocking, something called If I Were the Devil. And what would you do if I were the devil, and what would you do if you were the devil? And it's pretty shocking and pretty creepy. And wait until you hear how accurate this statement actually is. And speaking of the devil, what does Bill, Hillary, Oprah, and Leonardo all have in common with David Copperfield? I can certainly tell you they didn't make their names disappear from the court records that were recently released involving the Jeffrey Maxwell web of deceit and darkness. But will anything ever truly come from this web of darkness? Will there ever be justice served? Ever at all? And more importantly, is Jeffrey still alive? If you remember back when that all happened, I told you what I believed. But I'm going to touch base on that again because perhaps Jeffrey is still alive. Perhaps he's a part of a witness protection program. Have we ever considered that thought? Could be. Some shocking revelations in the JE files today. You're not going to want to go nowhere, friends. I was not the only one to make predictions, of course, about 2024. But another person that made some predictions about 2024 is our friend Billy Gates. Yeah, not our friend. Not at all our friend, actually. But he has made some 2024 predictions as well. And I don't know if you're aware of these, but I'm going to make you aware of these today because we should know that he is an amazing psychic, Billy G, right? Because when he makes a prediction, we better listen. We better listen because, you know, they're putting their plan right out in front of our face. So what did Gates say and predict for 2024? Hold on tight because I'm going to present his predictions, everything I already mentioned thus far, along with several new predictions, Elvis Presley's return from the dead, and a whole lot more on this episode. Number 99 of Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time Predictions Update.
And y'all know what time it is. It's tea time, baby. I am absolutely so excited that you are here for episode number 99 of Tea Time, baby.
Satnam, welcome, beautiful friends, beautiful souls. I hope that you're having an amazing day so far. Welcome to my channel, back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Joseph Tittel, aka Spiritman JT. And each and every week, we cover world events and how they relate to predictions and prophecy, along with new predictions each and every week. If you want accurate predictions, prophecy, and truth, and great content, you found the perfect tribe. Smash that subscribe, hit the bell, and all to ensure that you hopefully do get notifications. And if you don't see me pop up within a week on your notifications, be sure to go back directly to my channel, because sometimes people mysteriously become unsubscribed from channels on YouTube and other channels, networks, and platforms. So always check in. Why that happens is beyond me, but it happens to everybody apparently on here, so it is what it is. And if you're new here, down below in the description, you will find the link to my newsletter that we put out a couple times a month with upcoming classes. I have my master class starting, I think, February 4th. If you want to learn the law of attraction and how to benefit from it, I have Transform into Abundance starting on the full moon for a powerful healing event. All that you can find the details of on my new website at spiritmanjt.com. That's spiritmanjt.com. JosephTittel.com will eventually be updated. I'm still trying to get the information so that I can update it. And once it's updated, you'll be able to go to both of them. Or actually, Spiritman JT will eventually take you directly to the other one or vice versa. Other than that, with upcoming classes and such, I want to also take a moment to thank all the supporters and subscribers who make this free content possible for everybody else, and allow me the time to do something I love to do, to present all this amazing content and predictions to you. I am forever grateful. Whether you're a member of the community down below, whether you subscribe here, Spotify.com, or whether you find me on Rumble, you can find me on many platforms. All those links are down below as well, including my Subscribe Star Awaken Your Spirit supporters who make this content possible for everybody. Thank you. With infinite love and gratitude. One other thing is, I will be presenting a video tomorrow on calling your power back. It is something that I teach in my Transform into Abundance workshop program, but somebody asked in the comments, a couple people asked in the comments, how they could call their power back, because 2024 is power to the people, and we have to call our power back. It's a big part of my law of attraction program. So I'm going to present to you how you can call your power back, along with a guided meditation to utilize on a daily basis to help you gain control and bring your energy and parts of your soul back to you that have left you throughout your lifetime. And I'll explain it all in that video. So again, if you're not a subscriber now, you're going to want to subscribe. You're going to want to know how to call your power back, because this is the year to do it, baby. This is the year to do it. It's going to be amazing.
So shall we move on with episode number 99 of Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time Predictions Update? Wahoo!
Before I actually move on, I want to take a moment to thank two people. Usually I do it at the end, but I don't want to forget because I forgot to put it on my notes, and then I will forget. But somebody sent me this awesome, amazing mug with my picture of me, my precious Mary Jean on one side, and on the other side, whoo, an owl with my Spiritman JT. And I don't know who sent it because it didn't have a card. It didn't have anything. So I thank you, whoever did send this to me. I am very grateful, and I love that you took that picture and made it on a mug. And then somebody sent me this. Precious Mary Jean memory wind chime. Beautiful. And it's funny because it was addressed to Debbie at my post office box. And I thought, oh my God, I got someone else's package. Until I opened it up and saw Precious Mary Jean. I'm guessing that Debbie sent this to me. And I'm guessing that it's also the Debbie that sent me that beautiful painting of Precious Mary Jean over my left shoulder. Debbie T. But whatever Debbie did send this to me, I thank you with infinite love and gratitude. You can find the P.O. Box information down below as well. So, I'm wearing my hair, this hot mess, down today because soon I'm about to, I believe, cut it all off. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So, finally, that wave of energy that we all have been riding, like good old little surfers, we've been riding that wave since December 26th full moon. And it's slowly going to land us back on the shorelines January 11th when the new moon rings in. Not only January 11th being the first new moon of 2024, it also perfectly aligned with the angelic frequency of the triple ones, the 111 portal, the 111 magical portal, which is only being activated due to this very rare arrival of the new moon on the same exact day, which doesn't happen very often. I forget how many years apart, but not very often. Not as often as we need it. So this is going to allow us to manifest our goals and our dreams for 2024 and beyond on an amazing level unlike any other opportunity we had, many years anyway. So remember what I said in my 2024 predictions about 2024 being an 8 year in numerology, a year representing the infinite possibilities, the infinite flow of the infinity symbol. Remember me telling you that. So, but remember also me telling you that you have to add to the flow of energy in order to take advantage of the flow of infinity. So for example, this is just an example, you have to add money into the flow of money in order for that money to flow back to you again. And hopefully when it flows back to you, it flows back to you in a larger sum or a larger amount. So in order to achieve your goals, you have to put the energy into that infinity symbol and that flow of energy. That's part of what I'll show you in calling your power back. So other than that, with this 8 year and this infinity, January 11th's new moon, it's the perfect day, friends. Perfect day for you to add your goals and your dreams into that infinite flow of possibilities. You can do this in a couple different ways, beginning with simply putting out your intention. You got to put out your intention. You have to have a vision of your future. Remember, the universe is your Uber driver. The universe drives you from point A to point B. The problem that causes us to fail most frequently, besides fear and ego, is the fact that we try to figure everything out. We try to figure out how to get to A to B even though we've never been to B before. So how will we know how to get there? And we don't have a map either. The universe does, though. So first you got to have a vision. You have to add your vision. You have to add your goals and your dreams to that flow of infinite possibilities. Writing down your specific goals and writing down everything that you're that you are manifesting. Don't say the word try either. That's bad. I'm trying. No, you're not if you're saying that. If you're trying, then you're doing it. So don't say trying. Be like, I'm doing it. I'm making it happen. So writing things down, writing down your goals, everything that you're manifesting, writing things down is actually a way of empowering your intentions. And it's also a way of empowering the 111 new moon vibration that's coming in on January 11th. So take time, friends, to meditate. Make it a point to do things that bring you joy and make you feel good. Whether it be going to get a massage, going for a walk on the beach, or a walk through the forest. Remember, we cannot expect amazing changes, nor can we experience true spiritual ascension if we're not willing to do the work. And that work starts inwardly, with yourself. Remember the famous quote, be the change you expect to see in the world. That's what we got to do, friends. 2024 is all about power to the people, which is also all about calling back your power. Something, again, I teach in my Transform into Abundance workshop program. And being it's so important that we utilize this in the 8 vibrational year that we are all in universally, that's why I'm going to do a video on calling your power back. So again, be sure to check that out. Stay tuned. I'll have that uploaded by tomorrow for sure.
Tranquility Base, the aliens have landed.
That's right. The aliens have landed. So did they really land though? Did aliens once again make a landing in the United States? This time at a shopping mall in Miami, Florida. We all know the aliens landed in Vegas last year. We all know about that story, right? So perhaps the aliens got bored and they flew from Vegas to Miami. Maybe they needed a new outfit to buy to go gamble back in Vegas. Who knows? So really, what did happen though? What did happen in that Miami mall? Well, for starters, check out this video footage here. This video shows how many police officers were surrounding this place, and it was insane, friends. Insane. Look at them all. Insane amount. There has to be maybe 100 police cars surrounding that mall. I mean, wouldn't you agree? I told you all that they would continue to push this UFO alien agenda in 2024. So what may have actually really happened at the Miami Mall over the weekend? I can assure you, it certainly wasn't aliens landing at all whatsoever. Sorry to disappoint the conspiracy theorists that are wrapped up in believing that that's so or hope that it's so, but it is not so. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, at least in Vegas, you know, we saw the alleged story of the light coming down from the sky and all that, and then the aliens in the backyard. So then we know that they perhaps could have arrived, right? There's nothing like that in Miami. There's no entrance of aliens. There's no exit of aliens either. And there was no shooting of aliens because people were reporting on TikTok that there were gunshots and blah, 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 blah. Something definitely happened. And something more than what they were telling. But let's let's, what's the word? Just drew a blank. Let's just look at this in a different light, in a different couple lights. So did aliens actually land? Did they actually make it into Miami? Overall, aliens did not land at the mall in Miami. But obviously, again, something huge happened because law enforcement felt that they needed to bring in the whole fleet of police vehicles to the scene. There is no video other than the blurred video that you probably saw likely on TikTok if you're a TikToker. And it ended up everywhere else too, of course, but it always starts on TikTok for some reason. And in that video, it showed a blurred, sky view of something in front of the mall that people were calling a 10-foot tall alien. Well, truth prevails because truth came out with more clarity of that video, and that video shows nothing but 3 people walking in front of the mall together. The blur just made it blurry and gave somebody the opportunity to say it was aliens so they could get more clicks and likes on their TikTok page. That's basically what we got here, friends. But again, there's still something they're not telling us. We have the blurred video, which was indeed a fake, not a tall alien like they said. We know allegedly that 4 teens were arrested for fighting. And we also know that people reported fireworks being ignited that nearby shoppers likely could have took as being gunshots and not fireworks. When you hear loud bangs, right? Think about this. Again, hypothetically speaking, you're in the mall shopping. You hear bang, 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 bang. And you look out because it startles everybody. It's loud. It echoes through the hallways of the mall, right? You turn around and you see people running by the store. What are you going to do? You're going to run. You're instantly going to, most people, not all people, but most people are going to instantly panic and be like, oh my God, gunshots, everybody's running, right? Got to agree with me there. Somebody calls the police and reports gunshots at the mall. People fighting. The police raid the place. That sounds more legitimately like the story to me, friends. I hate to disappoint people, but I don't feel at all that there were real aliens at that mall. Here's the other thing. People running, all that happening. The only video we have is some blurred video of people fighting, and that may have been anywhere. We don't even know if that's really at the mall. Police aren't really telling us anything other than what they told us, a fight. But again, if it rung out and people report it and called the police that it was gunfire and not fireworks, of course they're going to storm the mall and surround the mall. Where people got aliens from, I think somebody on TikTok just made that story up, like I said, for clicks and likes. Not happening. But at the same time, think about this too. Because, we're all going to run when they all start running. But however, so as I have warned in the past, the globalist elite have an agenda. And that agenda is to push our belief system in a direction that benefits them. And to pull folks away from religion and Christianity, especially Christianity. They want folks afraid of aliens and UFOs. They do it in the movies. They've been pushing it out. And it started all the way back with Orson Welles in War of the Worlds. Remember that? Well, we don't remember that because none of us were alive for that. But that was their first test. I told you that a long time ago. When they realized how that caused panic amongst people, they took that as, oh, wait a second. We can do something with this. And it was at that same time that they were reverse engineering the crashed flying vehicles that they now have fleets of themselves. So most of the UFOs that we see are not from aliens. They're from the underground government. Not all of them, though. There are definitely, they recovered crashed ones, reversed engineered. So they're here too. But nowadays, in this time and era, there's more reverse engineered flying vehicles in our skies than there are aliens. But Spirit says that's going to change really soon. The aliens are on their way, says the spirits. I just heard that. Just heard that right now. They're on their way. Which ones? The good ones, I hope. All of them. Oh, I guess all of them then. Interesting. Spirit's always got a good sense of humor. They just said, we're not trying to be funny. It was still funny. I laughed. Did you laugh? I thought it was funny. But they're all serious. We didn't mean that as being funny. Anyway, that's their goal. And the majority of those spotted in the skies, like I said, are reverse engineered. These same globalists are also using content providers, TikTokers mainly, as CIA operatives, even though they may not even realize they are being CIA operatives without them actually even knowing, because some people are just less than smart and don't realize how they're being used. So this is all to push out their fake narratives in order to trick, deceive, and instill fear into the masses over UFOs and aliens. So what I tell you, friends, is do not fall for it. We're all going to continue to see these stories appearing on social media of alleged aliens and so forth, like the indigenous natives of Peru, who experienced in 2023 attacks occurring in the cloak of night darkness, using advanced reverse engineered technology to abduct and even capture little ones. You know what I mean, too. To get them all caught up in traffic, if you know what I mean, in order to profit from it, basically. Profit and get them caught up while putting fear into people of aliens and UFOs. An agenda. Why is it always at nighttime? The cloak of night, of course. Now, they said it was gold miners, and some say it was aliens. But in reality, it's probably those underground evil people that I've described to you over and over again with their reverse technology that they don't share with us, that they use to keep their evil web of darkness all spun together. But that web is dismantling. It is slowly falling apart. And soon that spider is going to begin to fall. Can't wait. I know I'll be here to see it in this lifetime. I better be. I'll be arguing with the Lord upstairs if I'm not here. So I would tell you, friends, to expect a lot more events. Perhaps even like the one we saw on the flight from Vegas to Florida. I'm telling you right now, that mother fudger right there is not real. It's not real. Yeah, it's not real, friends. It's not real. We're being invaded. And aliens have been among us all along anyway. Good ones and bad ones. But the ones that they make out to look bad very often end up being humans cloaked in different ways with their technology that they don't want to share with the rest of us. Technology that's soon going to also, over the next decade, all come out to the open. We're going to learn all the truth about everything. Slowly. We already are. Truth is coming out. It has been since 2012, actually. Slowly but surely. They can't give it to us all at once. It would shock too many people. And these conflicts that are happening overseas and soon here and everywhere else, this is all a part of awakening people. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes the worst of events to occur, the worst of predictions to come into fruition in order to awaken people. That's not our plan. That's God's plan. And if God's got a plan, we got to know that it's going to be for the good of all when it all is done and over with. Speaking of fear, let's talk about Iran and global fear revolved around that, because Spirit told us things were going to get crazy globally, even though they already were, but getting crazier in 2024. 2024 is a big wake-up year. So unfortunately, yeah, there's going to be tremendously horrific events that occur. Unfortunately, not all just conflict related. Some relate it to Mother Earth herself. As I said over 10 years ago, it's going to be Mother Earth that wakes everybody up. That's not World War III or whatever else people say. That's just the beginning. It's Mother Earth, in the end, awakens the people. She is in charge. We are not. The Earth does not belong to us. We belong to her. We are her children. So going back to the global conflict and the attacks that caused chaos over there in Iran with the booms that happened, eventually bringing chaos onto the streets of Iran. Last week, they were hit multiple times in attacks. And I told you that I in my predictions that Iran was going to have major issues in 2024, including booms and other incidents, which, again, started off their year right away with that. And there's more to come, unfortunately, for the world. But it all leads to good. I must always tell you, it all leads to good at the end of it all. I know it doesn't look like it sometimes, but So last week, Iran was hit multiple times in attacks, and they, of course, are now blaming the United States and Israel, even after a radical group allegedly made claims to that attack. So what really did happen? So first, I would mention groups like ISIS, for example, which I believe may have claimed the responsibility for this. I think it was them, but I'm not sure. And that's only what the media is telling us here in the United States. We don't know what to believe, especially when it comes out of mass media's mouths. So how are these groups? We have to really look. Think about this, especially a group like ISIS. How were these groups really funded and created? Do you know? I do. Just look, for example, at the vehicles that they drive, or all of their American-made weapons that they carry. Just saying. Just an example. So I won't, nor do I need to say it. But if you do not already know, perhaps you should go down that rabbit hole to enlighten yourselves to some truth of how these groups and how they're funded and where they come from to begin with. Just saying. Won't go into detail, but remember what Spirit told us and warned us earlier last year to be aware of flags that fly ever so falsely. Events that are orchestrated in order to achieve long-term goals. Goals of conflict and destruction, unfortunately. So for now, Iran is being poked and prodded in order to get a reaction. That's what's happening. So with hopes that perhaps Iran will have a reaction and they won't have to fly their flag ever so falsely, if you know what I mean. Which Spirit says they're going to end up doing anyway, flying that flag. So a series of attacks in multiple countries that will, and this aligns with other past predictions as well, but Spirit said it again today. A series of attacks in multiple countries that we will be told Iran and other radical groups claimed responsibility for. We're going to be told they claim responsibility. Unless we see them claiming that responsibility, don't believe it. It's because they do. They do it right on TV and claim responsibility if they're responsible. They have no problem with that. So we have to just keep our eyes peeled. Spirit says there's going to be lots of lies to beware, 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 beware. I see some type of a chemical like bang, boom, bang, 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 boom. In my vision today, when this thing's ignited, it spread some type of toxin into the streets, like a cloud of smoke of some, and I'm in some kind of small city of some sort or small town. I don't believe them at all in the United States, UK, Australia, or any place like that. By the looks of my vision, it appeared to me to be more in the Middle Eastern town or a Middle Eastern city, perhaps behind the walls of Israel. I see it could be back to Iran too. But in my vision, I saw smoky haze. I saw people doing that. And I saw people, trying to flee, of course. The visions were disturbing. I'm not going to go into all the details of everything I saw. You got the gist of it. That's all that really matters. And this could actually be it's obviously some type of a chemical. And it might be on Iran directly, actually. It might be on Iran because we're on that subject and Spirit gave me that information. Speaking of Israel and Middle East conflicts, I see an attack coming on at least one bus in the very near future. And I believe this is an attack, unfortunately, on Israel or within the walls of Israel. And I feel that Israel must be extremely aware that there is a plan of attack coming from right inside the country itself and outside the country, both being orchestrated right now, according to Spirit, with the goal to launch such an attack perhaps somewhere between February and March of this year. So again, we can hold in the light that doesn't end up being the case. But still, on an unfortunate subject of global conflict, I feel that things between Russia and UK are about to escalate on a serious level. Peace talks are on the table, but the United States is going to continue to push UKR into resisting these talks, making up excuses. And if this continues to drag out without actually sitting at the table to bring peace to the situation, and it continues to drag out for a few more months, Russia is going to launch a different type of an attack that could and would pull others into this conflict. We know this is a proxy constructed and orchestrated by right here in the United States, friends. I'm sure not just United States, UK, England. It's all one big hub, right? Canada, but mainly the United States. And they want to achieve their sinister goal. And they don't want peace. And they need peace. We need peace. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Give it a chance, man. Give it a chance. So what we all need to do is hold in the light, see it all happening in our heart and soul in a positive light, that peace talks prevail, and that the evildoers do not get their way in the continued senseless destruction that they keep causing. Otherwise, we also may soon see the United States using the grounds of another country such as Germany or Poland to pose an attack on Russia, which would immediately pull Germany into the conflict. Excuse me, along with Poland. So let's hope that's not there. Spirit showed me that today. Another scary thing that we can work together to divert by holding positive intention and outcomes in the light is artificial intelligence takeover of military weapons and even world conflicts. Incorporating artificial intelligence into the military and especially into weapons could end up causing the extinction of humanity completely. So let us again hold in the light in our heart and soul that AI never, ever comes near military, even though it's already there, but hopefully it'll fail and it'll go backwards or something. We don't want that. That'll be bad. You know what else is pretty bad right now? Airlines and sky events. Things happening in the skies and the accident-prone energy. Because it seems like every week since Spirit warned us back in early 2023, I think it was actually around April or May of 2023, that we were discussing issues revolved around airlines and airline mishaps. I did not see this particular event in my visions or predictions specifically, but Spirit did warn us that we would continue to see airline incidents continuing in 2024. And this year kicks off with the incident that happened first in Japan, unfortunately, with the collision that I saw in my visions, and it played out exactly like my vision, which is really creepy. And now we have this very scary incident on the Alaskan Airlines flight, which I did not have visions of, but it happened. And now a series of planes have been grounded for inspection, and they're already finding loose screws on those doors on the planes they inspected. Well, thank God they inspected them, right? And we are in the post-shadow of Mercury retrograde. Retrograde Mercury affects travel and communication. So being we're coming out of it, we're seeing this incident as a good thing, actually. Take it as a good thing. Nobody was injured. Yeah, it was scary as hell, and some of those people, especially that kid that lost his shirt, man, he's going to be having nightmares the rest of his life, because I know I would be. So prayers to him and the rest of the plane. But nobody was hurt or injured. That's what's important. But if this didn't happen, I guarantee you, I'll bet you, that it would have happened to a different plane, and that would have been a disaster. I bet you. Because now they're finding problems with these planes. And I don't feel that they're completely solving the problem. They're just putting a Band-Aid on it, is what Spirit says, which will come back to bite them in the butts within the next 2 years. Interesting. I do see an airlines merging. Remember, they like to merge everything together to give you less options. They merged together the oil companies. They merged together the telecommunications companies. They merged together the electric companies. Give you less choices. Moving into a communist type of control. When you don't have options. This is the only option you have. Yeah, not good. We should always have options. We should be able to get what we want from where we want and have many options of where to get it from. But now they're going to do that with airlines, combine it all together. Another thing that Spirit's showing me is they're going to start using the retinal on airlines, which is interesting. You know, you need ID. You have to have ID when you go. I get carded if I buy nicotine, I would get carded. They card for everything. They card you when you go to the bar. They card you when you go to the airlines and get on an airplane. But they don't card you when you go to the polls to vote. at the elections. Wonder why. Why? That should be the number one place that we should be required to have ID. Shoot, in that case, they should start fingerprinting us for voting. Make sure that it's fair as could be. I'll give you my fingerprint. They probably already got it from the iPhone. They got your fingerprints, and then they changed it over to your face. Now they got both. You don't think the CIA don't have all that? Of course they have all that. So that's what Spirit's showing me with the airlines. They're going to the retinal. That'll be a thing. That's creepy. Did you see the palm scanners at Whole Foods? Creepy. Like, palm. Why not just your finger? Right? Why not just a finger? You already have our finger. That's why. They already have our fingerprint. Now they want your whole palm print. See, all this goes into a database. They collect all this information. So now they have your face recognition. They have your fingerprint. And if you go to Amazon and you use your palm, they got your palm print. And if you're on social media, they know who all your friends are, who all your family are, all the pictures you take, and probably what time you squat to go potty. Like, seriously now. Crazy, friend. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But anyway, yeah, airline incidents and sky events and accident-prone energy that we are still lingering in. That accident-prone energy, along with the post-shadow Mercury retrograde, as I said. And Spirit warned us that accidents both in the skies and on the roads were going to occur. Especially, in that energy that we're in, the accident-prone energy. But throughout this month. And it was actually, I don't know how long ago, but I did say in my predictions, it was a few months ago, something about a tour bus accident. Maybe somebody can tell us in the comments when I said that exactly. But I also, sadly, prayers to those lives that were claimed in the tour bus accident that occurred in New York. New York, upstate New York, you got a lot happening up there lately, friends, in New York. What's going on, including the New York subway? I'll talk about that in a minute. Going back to the tour bus accident that occurred, very, very sad situation. But I see something else, and this is what I believe I saw in the past. A tour bus accident kind of reminds me of Gloria Estefan. Remember her? Well, I don't know how old you are, but if you're older, you'll remember that. Back in the 80s, I think that was the late 80s, Gloria Estefan and her tour bus accident incident that almost claimed her life almost. Not good. So it reminds me of that when I think of this. So I don't know if this is a accident that involves a musician or somebody's sports team, like a popular sports team, or I'm not sure. But Spirit kept showing me that again today. So that's still in the works for future events that hopefully do not come into fruition. Another one is I talked about plane crashes and losing a musician that remind me of the musician Aaliyah. Did I say her name right? Aaliyah. And also JFK Jr. Because they both crashed like right on the edge of the water, is the way Spirit shows it to me. So I see something similar like that happening, and I'm just getting a reminder of that again. I said it to you not that long ago, but I'm getting a reminder. Maybe we're closing in on that. Not sure. So again, going back to the accident-prone energy and visions, I talked about subway incidents. I talked about many subway incidents. Now, what just happened in New York with two subway cars coming too close for comfort, causing one to get off the tracks, causing people to, escape from the subway, wasn't completely everything I saw in visions. Remember, I saw smoke billowing out of the subway, like there was a fire or something underneath. I didn't see smoke billowing out during this incident that just happened. So, and then I see actually a collision happening underground between two subway trains, and that's not in the United States. That might actually be in China. And that's a subway that's underground. And then I see attacks that happen in the future in the subways too, including somebody sabotaging the tracks themselves in the tunnel. As if they're like going into the tunnel and like planting an explosive on the track that makes the track, split apart. Something like that, maybe? I don't know. But something in the tunnel. It's like they're doing it in the tunnel. Which ends up putting it, oh, okay, maybe it's just not just blowing the track up. It's just actually the tunnel itself. Putting a gaping hole in the streets above. I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm somewhere in Europe. But Spirit shows me all these things now. Anything else? Spirits are chatty today. Spirits are chatty today. So, looking closer. So this accident-prone energy, I think we come out of it at the end of this month. I forget when. I have to go back and look at that. It's an astrological thing. But regardless, infinite possibilities this year is going to cause incidents and accidents to occur that are in turn going to cause better changes to happen with the system. So again, for example, the planes that are downed because of that incident where thankfully nobody was injured. Now the planes are all downed and they're inspecting them and they're finding things wrong with them. I'm sure they're finding things they're not telling us about too. I can guarantee you that. So take it as a good thing. You know, sometimes accidents and incidents happen so we can correct it so it don't happen again. And so that it's in the future not an even more catastrophic type of event. Speaking of catastrophic events, mask mandates, that's catastrophic. Outbreaks, because we were told by Spirit not that long ago, back in the summer months, to keep our immune system up to par before we get to the fall and the flu season. Remember, Spirit said to be mindful, washing your hands and doing everything you need to do because we were going to endure a severe cold and flu season and outbreaks, perhaps of something potentially new. And we are seeing that. What are they calling it now? RSV, right? Isn't that something kind of, might not be new, but it's the way it's going right now is kind of new. And the fact that everybody's catching it, lots of people are catching it, not everybody. So I even told you that they would bring back mask mandates in certain places, I said. And now that's happening. And I said such as hospitals. Hospitals would be always the first ones, of course. So hospitals, now in the United States, at least 8 states across the United States hospitals have implemented the 2020 mask mandate, now in 2024. So is it going to get worse? Are people going to submit to wearing masks again? Well, people are going to submit. Doesn't matter, friends. You should know that by now. I even go to the grocery store and still see people wearing masks. Hey, that's their prerogative. Let them do what they want. If it makes them feel safe and happy, then let them do it. And if it doesn't make you feel safe and happy, then don't do it. As far as mandates globally, I don't see that anytime in the near future. I think that next year would be more of a year to be concerned about illnesses and outbreaks. Next year is a 9 vibration, which is ending death of cycles. And sometimes illnesses can show up in the 9 vibration. So no, I'm not worried about that this year. There will be new things that come up, especially, unfortunately, with the refugee camps. There's going to be a lot of outbreaks with that. And that's more based on a couple things, actually. I can't even say it here, actually. I didn't think Spirit was going to say that. I totally didn't think Spirit was going to show me that. But you can guess on your own. It's a pretty easy guess. But some of it's related to dirt. You know, dirty situations causing different illnesses like stomach bugs. But there's something else invading refugee camps that Spirit is showing me. And that feels like it's put into place, if you know what I mean. Creepy. Creepy, creepy, creepy. What else? But at the same time, again, we can come up with cures too. It's always about finding cures. And that's the amazing thing. If you watch my 2024 world predictions, amazing new innovations and breakthroughs in cures. Cures that they already have, they just haven't shared with us. It's about time they're going to be forced to share with us. So, shall we move on? If you were the devil, what would you do to create hell on earth? Well, if you were the devil, that's what I just had a brain freeze. Back in 1965, a radio host by the name of Paul Harvey read something quite shocking to the people, referred to as, or titled, If I Were the Devil. And wait until you hear how creepy and how accurate, this actually is. And I'm only going to put my computer up and let you listen to it. Or my microphone over here and let you listen to it.
If I were the devil. If I were the devil. Paul Harvey.
Creepy, right? Very, very creepy. And it's interesting in the beginning when he says owning 1/3 of the real estate. You know who owns all the real estate? The most real estate in the world? The Catholic Church. Of course. Of course they do. Everything he said in 1965 is ringing so true to this day in a way that we can actually see it. It was happening in 1965. They just couldn't see it. Now you can clearly see that's exactly what the devil is doing. Exactly. Manipulating the populations. And look at what he says about the schools and drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at all schools. That's a big issue. It's happening. It's happened. It's already happened and still happening. I found that interesting. I wanted to share that with you. I don't know. I happened upon it and I just thought, I got to share this with y'all. It's really creepy. And speaking of the devil wears Prada. So what does Bill, Hillary, Oprah, and Leonardo all have in common with David Copperfield? Of course, they couldn't make their names disappear from the list that was released in the court records of the J.E. files. Jeffrey. So is Jeffrey still alive? What do you think? I have no doubt. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. But let's go to the files. Remember I told you it was going to be a joke? I told you it's just going to be a joke. I mean, it's just going to be a joke. Nothing ever comes from this. Wow, what do we get? A few names that we already knew were on the, that we already knew were a part of it. But now it's in our face, like written on paper. Most of those names, some of them we don't even know. Or at least I don't know some of them people. But most of those names were names we already knew. Already knew on that list. Tom Hanks, of course, and all the rest of them. And if you want the whole full list and all, I'm not going to go through it all here today. I was going to do a live and do it. I actually downloaded a new program on my computer so I can go live and show you stuff, which I'll start doing soon. But then I thought everybody's doing videos on the list. You can go just look at the list yourself. It's nothing different than anything we already know. Really, seriously. But here's the thing. It's really interesting because, we have all these court records. And this is only one case, friends. One case of dozens of cases. What we need is not even the case information to come out as much as we need somebody who has or is sitting on the video footage. That's what we need to come out. So did you see how Jeffrey's brother, I think his name's Mark, was on the Tucker show? And I feel like he's an actor. I don't know. Listening to the interview, I just felt like he was just more an actor, like playing a role. That's the vibe I got. Listening to him. I couldn't see him, and that's, they didn't show him because then I could actually do a reading just looking at him. But I can read from somebody's voice and vibration as well. And that's what I got from his voice and vibration, that he was just acting out. Acting, some of it was acting. And some of it was he just don't know. You think his brother kept him all the way up to par with everything? Not everything, but he knows a lot more than what he's telling you. And he's just trying to protect his brother and protect whatever else is being protected, if you know what I mean. That's what it's all about. He knows darn right well. And I bet you he knows whether his brother is alive or dead. I bet you he knows. So check this out. Because, back when that happened, I told you, man, there ain't no way. That guy is too powerful, too smart, and has too much money to be killed in prison. Too much. And what if he's on protection witness program? Like Elvis Presley. Because, that's what it's alleged. I agree with the Elvis Presley witness protection program thing. If you go back and do down that rabbit hole, that's a great rabbit hole to go down too, actually. So this chick, what's her name, just said this on her show. And I'm sure a lot of you saw this already. And it's not new news. It's been around for a couple days. But look at what she says. We're not done with Jeffrey Epstein. Check out this clip.
And we're not done with Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you that for a fact. Can't tell you how I know, but I can tell you for a fact we're going to hear a lot more about Jeffrey Epstein in the coming year. And you may be even hearing from him directly. More on that as I'm allowed to tell you.
We're not done with Jeffrey Epstein? And that we're going to be hearing from him again in the near future? How would she even know that? And what does she know that she's not telling us? Now, this could be one or two situations. It doesn't necessarily mean that she knows that he's alive or somebody told him or whatever. Could also be that he did some kind of recorded video. That could be too. Because I do see video. I see him, like, it looks like I'm seeing it on video. It could be him coming out and speaking. But I see videos of him speaking about things. And I told you that somebody's sitting on videotapes. I told you this over a year ago. Maybe after it all happened that there's tapes. There's tapes and files. Did you see how all the hard drives of all these elite, Prince Albert, all Prince, whatever his name, all of them, Andrew, I mean, and they all took their hard drives off their computer? Yeah. You don't think that that information's still somewhere? Friends, it is. And this is going to be a continued story that we are going to continue to hear about for years to come. And it's going to be shocking, more shocking stuff. And again, the question I know you're all asking, will anybody ever get justice out of this? Well, Bill Clinton, you're going to see his health just completely deteriorate from this point forward. He's just going to wither away. Hillary, she's just bitter old lady. She's just going to fight. But this is just going to kill him completely. So he's not going to last much longer. I don't know what year he's in. I should have looked that up. I forgot. But I feel like, yeah, that's what's happening with him. And I do feel like things will happen and play out eventually. There will be arrests. I said this before we even knew about the Jeffrey Epstein thing. There'd be arrests on the whole underground trafficking and kids getting caught up and all the whole line of things underground that I described back in 2016, actually. It's all going to come to light. Slowly, though. Again, it'd be too shocking for everybody to find out at once. But there are going to be shocking wake-ups that are coming up soon. And the Epstein files are going to be one of them. And it's going to be interesting and it's going to be juicy. Was there something else I had on here of him in my video shots? No, just that one. Just that one. Interesting that she said that though, right? I want to know what you think in the comments down below. So do leave your comment down below. And remember, I appreciate you so much. And please show your love, friends, by clicking that like button. It gets this information out to others that can join our tribe to help our tribe grow and become much bigger. So, speaking of devils and other things and predictions, let's talk about the other devil. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. Billy G. Billy G's predictions for 2024. As soon as I find the link, I have it here somewhere. I swear I have it here somewhere. Yeah, Bill Gates makes predictions. And this comes from, why is it not opening? There we go. Shares predictions for 2024. This comes from Epic Times, which is the only news source I subscribe to. Excuse me. Microsoft co-founder shared his predictions for the next year, including how artificial intelligence could transform modern medicine and how the 2024 elections could serve as an important turning point for both health and climate. Yeah, sure. The tech billionaire shared his predictions for 2024 in his blog post published on December 19th, in which he noted that 2023 was the first time that he had used artificial intelligence for work and other serious reasons, and not just to mess around and create parody song lyrics for my friends. But anyway, Mr. Gates said that this year he was giving the world a glimpse into how AI will shape the future and impact the next generation, providing a better sense of where and when it might be applied and where it will literally be served. Whatever. Goldman Sachs economist warns that 2/3 of the occupants across America could be particularly automated by artificial intelligence by March. Did you know, ChatGPT, speaking of that, because it says ChatGPT here, did you know they're being sued by the New York Times? Because ChatGPT uses everything on the internet. So it's using articles from the New York Times. It uses everything on the internet. So therefore, now they're suing them. That ain't going to get very far. I mean, what are you going to do? It's not much you're going to do. You're not going to get far with that New York Times. As a matter of fact, Spirit shows me the New York Times sign on the building falling off. One letter at a time. Interesting. So I have that vision right now. One letter at a time falling off. I hope that's not really what happens and a letter falls off the New York Times building. I take that as a fall of the New York Times slowly dwindling away. So Microsoft invested billions of dollars in OpenAI. Mr. Gates noted that swift advances in AI, okay, we know about his AI. So use in medicine, what else did he predict here? Pandemic preparation. National elections. Oh, did you also know that this year there's more countries having elections than ever? There's like 40 countries have major elections this year. Major stuff. National elections, such as those taking place in the United States, India, and South Africa, will grab the most attention, says Gates. And while every year's elections are important, the sheer number of people who will vote in 2024 means that the results will have an outsized impact on the world, on the future of our world. What else? It's boring. He says that there's various new innovations entering the marketplace in 2024 and even very complicated areas like nuclear power, despite some objections from environmentalists. I bet you he don't like environmentalists. Earlier this month, the United States joined 21 other countries from 4 continents in a signing pledge of the United Nations Climate Summit for triple global nuclear energy capacity by 2020, from 2020 to 2050. Creepy. Let's see what else he says. I thought he said something about pandemics here. Now is the time for policymakers to prioritize pandemic preparedness before it is too late. Didn't we hear that somewhere before? That's all he predicted, those 2 things? They ain't no predictions. He ain't no psychic. Although he does know what's happening in the future. And he does say something's coming in this article. But isn't something always coming? Isn't there always a flu season? Some worse than others. Friends, I tell you, not worry about it. Not to worry about it. All will be well. All will be well. And as long as you know that and you convince yourself that, it'll be exactly that. What else do I got here? Did you hear about this? Somebody sent me this. And I can't read it because I don't have glasses on. Remember I said that I didn't say, Spirit said, the dead will rise and be alive again. And many of you think that that's because of the Elvis Presley rising from the dead. I said literally Elvis rising from the dead. I didn't mean in the way that this is being done, but this sounds pretty cool because Elvis Presley is now going on tour, friends. Did you ever think the day would come that you would be able to go see Elvis Presley in concert? That's right. Elvis Presley. And they are doing this in, I believe, London. And it is Elvis Evolution. We'll use artificial intelligence and holographic projection and augmented reality in live theater to recreate events in Presley's life and music. That sounds, I'm totally signing up and going. It's supposed to come to Vegas. I'm sure it will come to Vegas. I mean, hello, Elvis made Vegas. Elvis is still in Vegas. He actually lives there now. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And that's what many of you thought that I meant by the dead, or not what I meant, what Spirit meant by the dead would rise and be alive again. Well, yeah, that's definitely an example for sure. It's definitely happened. And if you remember years ago, many, many years ago, Lisa Marie Presley did it on the Grammys or something, where she sung that song In the Ghetto, and they had a hologram of Elvis singing with her on stage. It wasn't a good hologram, and I'm sure it's way better nowadays than it was back then, but it was still pretty damn good. So that's probably, again, how they're doing this. And it's going to start somewhere in London for some show in London somewhere. After London, the Elvis Evolution will travel to Las Vegas, Tokyo, Berlin. And that's all it says. I think that sounds like fun. I'm going when it comes to Vegas, for sure. For sure. Like, totally. Did you see this? I think this is awesome. I want to show you this little clip right here. This is at the Parliament in New Zealand. And this is the natives doing their little chant that I think is just so friggin' awesome. Check it out. Isn't that so cool? I think that's amazing, actually. And it's a cultural performance called the Morahaka. I hope I didn't butcher that. It is a traditional Maori, I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. Performance of the haka, which is a source of pride for New Zealanders. It is performed worldwide, most famously by the... I can't read that. I need glasses. I got to make an appointment for the eye doctor, actually. I forgot to do that. I'll do that tomorrow. Tuesdays are busy days for me. That concludes my notes, but just a couple other things here. What else we got here? We got, I warned our friends down there in Australia, mate. I warned you in Queensland of flooding. Someone mentioned in the comments that there was severe flooding in Queensland, Australia. I think that was over a week ago. There's also something about, I wanted to play this for you. I'll have to save it for next week because I don't have it all together for you. About the chemtrails in Australia and this person fighting. There's a website. They deny it, but there's proof. Yeah, I'll have to present that next week. We talked about the tour bus crash. Oh, did you see? Remember I talked about this year. It started last year, actually, but this year again, many leaders leaving power. That we were going to see more this year than ever. And this includes, leaders of countries, including senators, including CEOs. And we were going to see a lot of step downs and a lot being pushed out and maybe even taken out. That was in my 2024 world predictions. If you missed my 2024 world predictions for New Year's Day, you're going to want to not miss that. I also did a top 10 predictions that many of you missed. They're different than my New Year's Day predictions, so you're going to want to check out the top 10 prediction video. And then on our last Tea Time episode of 2023, we talked about predictions as well. So if you're behind, you want to catch up. There's a lot of predictions, dozens and dozens and dozens of predictions. So I definitely didn't leave you shy of predictions this year. You got plenty. And there's more to come, of course. So speaking of heads leaving, the head Wayne Lapierre resigned from the NRA. And now there's attacks on the NRA. And they want to cause the NRA to crumble. Yeah, of course they do, friends. They want your guns. Take your guns, they take everything. And the Americans are the ones they want your guns from the most. That's why they make America look like the crazy ones with all the bang bang events and everything happening, which is pretty crazy that we do have all those. But a lot of them are done and conducted from MK Ultra mind control. Fact or fiction. I want to know in the comments down below what you think. So the NRA is not going to crumble, Spirit said. They're sure in the hell going to try, but they're not going to succeed, and there actually may be a newer group that arises from the NRA. Something different is what Spirit just said. That storm, I warned, the holiday storm that was going to hit the East Coast, blanketing the East Coast in snow, and they're getting it again and again. We got 8 inches outside. You can't see from here, but it's pretty. It's definitely pretty. I'll show you a picture. If I remember, I'll upload a picture, and it'll show right here. If I remember. If not, then you didn't see a picture. But that would be right out in front of my house. I am blessed. It's so pretty when it snows. It was like 10 degrees out last night. In Arizona. I do live in the high deserts, though. I do live in the high deserts. It definitely gets cold here. And if I drive down to Sedona into town, it's much warmer there. And they probably don't have any snow on the ground anymore. It's probably all gone. I haven't been down there because we're kind of snowed up here. What else do I have? The Epstein. We talked about Epstein. We talked about his brother. His brother's name was Mark. New York City sub. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you about. The German. Our friends in Germany. I have family in Germany still. There's my neighbor. Hi, girl. How you doing? How you doing? Sometimes I just can't help myself. Oh, we also had the Harvard woman that resigned. She was pushed out, no doubt. You gotta watch. You can't even say anything nowadays, especially if you're in places like that. Like they'll pick you apart if they don't want you there. They'll get you out quickly. So we had that. Those two people resign and push out. We have, and I didn't know this, that there's 40 countries or 42 countries doing elections this year. I didn't know that when I did my predictions, and Spirit said that we would see so many people leave power. Now we know why. And hopefully JB is one of them. I will pray to the Lord that somebody comes in and saves our country and our planet. Somebody that's not already runner up. And I said that someone was going to show up in the end. Somebody was going to show up. That they were going to push JB out. Some way, one way or another. What I wanted to talk about is our friends in Germany and the farmers there that are fighting back. Finally. Just like they were doing in, oh God, where was it? I just drew a blank. Oh, I just totally drew a blank. I can't think now. Darn, it's been a long day. The other country that had the big farmer protests, it's happening. Someone will say it in the comments. I can't think right now. But now Germany's doing the same thing, and they're very peaceful protests. Another news source that I looked at today was Redacted with Natalie and Clayton, who are from my home area in Pennsylvania. And Clayton happened to be in Germany covering the protests, peaceful protests, that, of course, the government's going to try to do something, push them out of the way like they do. You know, that's the thing. They make it look like these protesters are radicals. You know, kind of like they do in the United States, calling them MAGA radicals. MAGA radicals? MAGA, right? Yeah, MAGA. And they did that with the truckers in Canada. They made them look like they were far-right radicals. We have to take them down, right? They do that every time. See, this is how they trick you with the media. And I even had somebody leave in the comments, those truckers in Canada, the government did what they were needed to do. No. You don't have the full story. And yes, the truckers were trying to make a point, and the government took their money. That is not right, to take people's money out of their bank accounts. You know, even if they were radicals, that does not give them a reason to take people's savings from their accounts. Sorry. And if you believe that the government's okay at doing that, then you belong with the government in the web of darkness that weaves that web of darkness, that spider, that killer spider. Anyway, moving right along. What else do I have here? I think that might be it, friends. I'm going to be doing my Stages of Grief video, too. I'll have that out to you sometime within the next week, maybe on Monday. But I will have that video tomorrow for you. Oh, and what about the state capitals and all the threats around the state capitals of booms, big boom booms. Boom booms. Remember I told you a while back that the goal of these evil psychopaths is to destroy the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. They want that so bad. And there has been many scares there. But there have been scares everywhere. The Colorado Capitol and capitals all over the United States. Will anything come from it? Not necessarily. Hold in the light that everybody's protected. And if anything were to happen in any capital, it would be the one in Washington, D.C. State capitol, lots of threats. And lots of problems for the Supreme Court over there in Colorado as well. So if anything would happen, it would be in Colorado. But let's hope that that doesn't come into reality. People love to just put out threats. You know, threats. But eventually threats become a reality. La 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 la. Did you know that South Africa filed a case with the International Court against Israel for war crimes? Interesting. And I think I don't have anything else for you today. I think I covered it all, friends. I'm sure there's other things I could have talked about, but I got to get this uploaded and up online, and then I got to record my meditation and video for calling your power back. You're not going to want to miss that. If you want to fulfill all your dreams and goals and make sure that you go through this year with your full energy and your full soul, you're going to want to tune in. Getting Your Power Back video that I will have up and premiere by tomorrow. So other than that, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for your love and support and the chat cash and donations that are sent through Venmo and PayPal that make this channel run. Keep me going. Couldn't do it without you. I am so grateful with infinite love and gratitude. Please also don't forget to click that like button. It helps the channel. It shows your love to this channel. And again, it is greatly appreciated. Until the next time, beautiful friends, remember to celebrate life, celebrate you, and celebrate that new moon 111 vibration that's coming up on Thursday. I have a busy Thursday, so I wanted to do something on that day, but I have a super busy schedule with clients, so I cannot do anything on Thursday. But I will have something tomorrow. So be kind to others as you wish others be kind to you, and remember, most importantly, to be bold, be true, be kind, be you. Why? Because you're freaking amazing. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste and much love.